Hey guys, this is Ease. Welcome to a new vid. Right now, we're going fucking global here, mate. This is 3 challenger tips, alright, for Shaco. So these are my 3 top tips for Shaco. I've tried to keep them as like micro base as I can. It's kind of hard though, because I think, especially in this season, like most of what being challenger is just decision making. Like mechanics, you can have all the mechanics in the world, but you're not going to get past D5. But you can have all the macro in the world and you can get to challenger with shit mechanics. That's just how the fucking meta is. It's trash, but that's just how League is at the moment. But I've tried to keep it as micro as I can. And these are 3 challenger tips, as I said, that will hopefully help you guys out if you guys are in Diamond. I'm talking any fucking region, mate, alright, around the world. I don't care if you're D5 in Korea, D5 in Turkey, or D5 in fucking Greenland, mate, alright? You're going to learn something from this video. Now, this will hopefully get you to that next level. Because most Shacos who I look at, the first thing I look at on their op.gg is their deaths. Most Shacos I reckon average like, I don't know what the fucking average is like overall on op.gg if they have that shit. But I'm guessing it's probably like around 5. And for me, that's probably too much, to be honest. The best Shacos who I see have around anywhere from like 3 to 4. Like in that 3 to 4 region. If you have lower than that, fuck mate, you're going off. You could be the GOAT. But first thing I look at is deaths, so I'm going to talk about how to keep your deaths down. I'm going to be talking about little mechanics that separate really, really good Shaco players, like the great Shaco players, from just a good, kind of your typical like Diamond Shaco player. And then I'm just going to be talking about knowing your limits. Now, that's kind of more, I mean, it is kind of relevant to every other champion in the game, and like Challenger players obviously have a better understanding of the game and know their limits a bit more, but Challenger Shaco players and a Diamond Shaco player, like, they know their limits a bit better. And I'm going to be talking about and showing you guys clips at each of these, like, kind of tips. And hopefully illustrating, you know, my point. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Please give it a thumbs up. This is going to take a while to make. I've been through clips and shit. I've actually recorded some clips as well with some help from subscribers and stuff. So shout out to those boys. You guys will see them in the video. Yeah, guys, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment what you thought of the video, if you learned anything from it, and yeah, that would be much appreciated. Alright, boys. Alright, guys, so the first tip is going to be micromanagement and your mechanics, so Q, W, E, and R. Now, I don't want to focus too much on your Q or your E because I've made videos on that. You know, your E is really just part of your combo and kind of a gap closer, and your Q is probably one of the most, if not the most important ability in your kit, but I have master videos, you know, on them and how to use it effectively and shit like that. So I'm not going to go too much into that, otherwise the video will be so long. I'm going to be talking about Q later though, okay? And kind of like not fucking dying as much, and Q is a big part of that, so I'll talk about that. But for this part of the video, I want to talk about your W a little bit, and your R for most of it. So using your like W and R, like especially your W, they're very simple, right? All you're doing is just pressing W or R on your keyboard, right? It's not that difficult. That bit is easy. But it's about knowing when to do it. That's the key, about knowing when to do it. And there are 2 keys, alright? There are 2 keys to fucking using them at the right time. The first one is knowing enemy champions' like abilities. What they do. Because CC is what kills assassins, right, in this game. Kills Shaco, of course, because he's an assassin. And evading it is like often the key to becoming like a great Jester, whether it be like, you know, like a skirmish or a 5v5 team fight. Evading that CC and, you know, being able to one-shot their carries without, you know, getting fucking knocked up or silenced, stunned and shit like that, especially when you're in Viz. That's a pain in the ass. That is really like one of the big differences between a fucking really good fucking Shaco, like the great Shacos, and just a fucking your average Diamond Shaco player. They get caught a lot less in team fights, 1v1s and shit like this, because they know what enemy or champion's abilities do. So if you're, especially like jungling against a champion with CC, it's essential that you know the matchup. So you should be thinking, okay, so J4's got his EQ, you've got Elise Cocoon, you've got Lee, you can sometimes dodge his R, and his Q, of course. You know what I'm getting at, right? So it's very, very important to know what the enemy champions do, okay? So with that knowledge, and this kind of comes like hand in hand, they're kind of interdependent on one another. So with that knowledge comes anticipation, right? So when you know what a champion does, like J4, for example, you know his EQ. As soon as you see him put that flag down, he's about to Q, right? So you should be ready to fucking hit R for, you know, when that Q animation starts, right? So being able to like predict this stuff. So Elise Cocoon's J4, you know, EQs, even Rek'Sai knockups and their ultimates, Kane W, like all of that stuff is so important. Now, you're not going to dodge every fucking ability, right? Like, we're all going to mess up. Like, we're not going to play perfectly. We're not Faker or Drew Tims. But we can dodge a hell of a lot of stuff in most situations. Like 95 to fucking, at least like 90-95% of situations, we can play them really, really well. Because we know what the enemy champion does and we can anticipate what they're going to do, right? And mastering it just means more kills and hard carries. Now we're going to have a few examples, right? So hopefully these aren't fucking neg. Now, we're not going to have that many of me kind of using my W to block shit, because it's pretty, like, fucking self-explanatory. You expect them to, you know, like, Elise in Q, you put a box down, Elise Cocoon, you put a box down. That's pretty, like, easy to explain, but it's hard to do, right? Because you've obviously got to anticipate it and react very quickly, so I'm going to show you a couple of clips of that. Alright, next, so here are some clips of the boxes. Here we're going to go into a Yasuo. This is probably in a Chow game, I think it is. Here comes Lee Sin. What's he going to do, mate? Throw the Q out, you put a box down. Nice and easy, that one. Into the next clip. Some of these clips are going to overlap, by the way. We see Elise there. Now, what's Elise going to do as soon as she comes out? She's going to Cocoon, put the box down. Nice and easy, this one as well. This next one isn't actually me blocking any skill shots with my W, but it's me using my W effectively to kind of fucking fear the Lee Sin, and then outplay him around it, alright? So this is like a useful situation of use your box, so put it down. He fears the Lee Sin, and it's getting him some nice damage there before we end up killing him, alright? Alright, next, here we go. So these are the R mechanics, alright? So these are really just like R mechanics, you fucking, how to like outplay them, juke them, dodge skill shots, all of that stuff. There are going to be like overlaps of using your Q and stuff like this. So here we juke out the Lysandra, and we realize that she's going to fucking ult the clone and stuff, and that she's, you know, going to fucking look to anyway. Then we end up outplaying her. Bit of knowing your limits there as well, fucking going back in on low health when we had no mana, knowing that she was on cooldown for her kit. Here again, Nidalee, so we walk over a Nidalee trap. What's she going to do when she sees that? We see her pounce, we ult that, and then end up blowing her up. Then we have a nice Q out of the Soraka Q and almost kill her as well, force a flash. L. And going into the next clip, okay, so here we have Olaf. So this is an R juke. So as soon as he throws this axe, I was actually a little bit late there in dodging the axe, but we push off the R, and he says, "Look, mate, all right, fucking, we almost got him, mate, with the juke there. He fell for it for about 1.5 seconds, but that's what we needed to make this play." And you'll see the end of that clip later on in the video. Right here, you're going to see me Q kind of over this little wall to get to Sivir, so we're kind of like expecting them to come in here. This is just like another smart decision. You're going to see me ult the Azir R. So watch it, we blow up the Sivir, and then Azir fucking ults, and we actually ult over the top of it. So very, very nice indeed. Let's move on to the next clip. Come on, let's keep it moving. So here I actually could have used my R to combo him and to nuke him, but I saved it just to dodge his ult, and in case, you know, someone else came into the fray. But very clean clip. We ended up getting the kill. I'm not sure what the clip is playing on, but let's fucking pretend something happens. Nothing happens, but yeah, okay, sick. And then this one here, this is dodging an Alistair combo when we're trying to go on Twitch, so we don't actually end up killing Twitch, even though I fucking swear I should have with like how farmed I was. But we ended up dodging the Ali WQ combo, very, very nice indeed, ends up securing a kill. So we see Vladimir here, put the box down in case he gets fit, he actually Zhonya's it. We see J4, there's the E, you dodge the fucking EQ, nice and easy. So all I'm doing is pressing R. It's just I'm anticipating their abilities and knowing when they're going to fucking use them, right? And nothing really else happens in this clip. What's the next clip? This clip is exactly the same thing. Fuck, there are a lot from this game, aren't there? There's the Twitch, the big fella. We're going to put a box behind him. We see the J4 E, we dodge it nice and easy, and Twitch is thankfully out Kane D5. Now this clip, guys, is actually probably one of my like cleanest clips that I got. I cannot find a mistake here, for me, to be honest. If you guys can, let me know. But I want you to see like all the mechanics that I use. So we put a box down in case Fizz goes that way. We kind of ward him off. We ulted his E, so after blowing up Kai'Sa with a nice quick combo, we see Elise running through here, so we fucking backstab her E and then Tiamat. Tiamat came up just at the end, so I just used it anyway, get a bit more damage in there. I'm using the clone here as well, so not necessarily like good clone mechanics. I'm just fucking letting the clone auto attack them. We Q through Darius there. Janna's obviously not aware of it, and we end up blowing up here. Yeah, this was a diamond elo game as well, by the way. We see Elise getting Bard ult, where we put a W down and block Cocoon, which is the clip you saw earlier. So in that clip right there were mechanics that I am I don't know if I fucking say like hell proud of, but like you can fucking tell that there's a difference between the way I played that and probably like your standard fucking Diamond Shaco would have played that. I think that's kind of fair to say. And it's all about anticipation, guys. Alright? That's all it is. All about anticipation when you're dodging those skill shots and putting boxes down. Alright guys, so this is the next part of the video, right? And this is my second tip, and it's about keeping your fucking deaths down. Whenever I look at op.gg's, mate, as I kind of aforementioned, of Shaco players, I always see that their deaths are probably like around 5, 6, 7, maybe even like 8 deaths a game, which is just way too fucking much, to be honest. And it just tells me that their decision making isn't that good. So hopefully, like, this will kind of help you lower your deaths and mean that you're throwing less, especially mid to late game. This is really just about mid to late game. One of the tips that I'm going to give you, those kind of solutions, will help you with early game as well. But I think the first two kind of solutions that I give you are very, very important. Make sure you fucking open the old ear holes up, mate. Right, now, what I kind of mean here is that keeping deaths down, you got to stop trying to make plays that aren't there. So it's much better to be safe than sorry, and kind of like I'm really kind of referring to like your Q here. So when you try and assassinate one of their AD carries, say like their support shows up, their mid laner shows up, as I'll illustrate very soon, it's just better to say, you know what, that fucking play isn't there. Alright? That play isn't actually there. I'm not going to be able to kill her. If I kill her, I'm going to die as well. And, you know, not having, you know, say Baron was up, for example, and we've died. They have an opportunity to do Baron, even if we killed, like, their support, mid laner, or AD carry. There's still an opportunity there, and we want to fucking be up. We're an assassin, right? We want to go in, we want to kill one of them and get out. We don't want to go in and just fucking, you know, sacrifice ourselves for just one kill, right? We want to be hard carrying these games mid to late game, okay? And there are certain ways to do it, and one of them isn't by fucking trading 1-for-1 for 20 minutes. Right? That's not how you're going to hard carry games mid late game, is Shaco. So yeah, as I said, mid late game is really when you can throw a game, because one mistake can lead to Barons, it can lead to inhibs, it can lead to Elders, and probably a fucking L. So it's slightly situational, like the decision making wise. But as a general rule of thumb, you don't really want to nuke their carries if they're grouped, so with team or even with just their support, unless you're kind of fucking really, really fed. And it's important to be aware of like enemy items. And so, say their AD carry has ninja type, you have to realize that if you don't have any armor penetration, you're probably not going to fucking blow them up. Especially if their support's there, it's going to be very, very hard unless you have ignite, and you know, like your R and UR combo, right? So little things like that matter. Their levels as well. If they're the same level as you, you know, their AD carry or mid laner, which they probably will be, especially their mid, then they're going to be fucking tanky. They're going to have more health. They're going to be harder to kill. So pick fights you have a good chance of winning. Don't pick fights that, oh, you know, maybe I'll kill. Oh, I might be able to fucking kill them here. Might be able to outplay them. No, pick fights that you're going to be fucking pretty sure, right, if I find her here, I'm going to kill her. If I find her here or farming this lane, I'm going to kill her. If I find their mid laner, you know, kind of ready to fucking say it's like a Xerath who's about to ult one of your teammates who might be low. Alright, I'm going to anticipate where he's going to ult from, I'm going to Q in, and then I'm going to get him. Those are fucking smart Qs. Right? Don't use, I mean, risky Qs, like, yeah, they can fucking win you games, but they'll end up throwing games more than they'll actually end up winning. Alright? So that's very important. Here I'll show you some examples. I couldn't actually show you examples from my games. I was going to try and get a subscriber in to help me out, but we can't do it in practice tool because I'm the only one who can actually play in the practice tool, which sucks. So I've kind of tried to illustrate it as best I can, so yeah, hopefully you guys try and envision what I'm going on about. Alright guys, so this is one mistake that I see a lot of fucking, I mean, even like high elo Shacos make, and when I say high, I mean like probably diamond Shacos make a lot. I still sometimes make this, but like, from when I was a diamond Shaco player compared to now, like, these mistakes rarely come up, and I actually couldn't find really any clips, even from like fucking, you know, a season ago, of me actually like kind of overextending and overreaching for a kill. So, this is kind of what happens, right, with Shaco players. So because when you're going for glass cannon anyway, and you want to try and assassinate one of their carries, let's say one of their carries is here, right? And let's say the creep wave is right here where these wards are. So that's my creep wave, and their AD carry is farming this creep wave, right? And this will happen a lot. So this is just a typical example, right? So say you want to, you know, you want to assassinate this carry. It might be a mid laner, it might be an AD carry, it might even be a support who's freezing this wave, right? But you want to try and kill him. So what a lot of Shacos will do is they'll queue in like they should. And say someone pops up at the last fucking second, mate, like maybe around this corner, and it's their support. So say this is an AD carry, right? And as soon as we get to like maybe around here, we all of a sudden see their support come around, maybe their mid laner comes out of the side there, but we'll still try and go for the kill even though we might not even be able to do it. So we fucking use our full fucking R combo, right? Because their support is there, now if they're not autistic, they'll be able to save their ADC, and say their mid lane is there as well, like say like a Xerath or a Malzahar. Doing these plays is extremely fucking risky. Even if you get the kill, sometimes it is not worth. Right? There are plenty of games, I'm sure you've all been there, where like you're fucking 15-0, but that one mistake you make mid-late game, it could even be trading 1-for-1, which sounds fine, but we need to fucking hard carry games, right? When it gets to this stage in the game, we need to look for picks, and we don't want to trade 1-for-1. Alright, especially when objectives like Barons are up at like 20 minutes. So this is really like mid-late game, and trying not to fucking throw, because I'm guessing like a lot of Shacos, what they'll do mid-late game is they just look for picks all over the map. They're happy trading 1-for-1. Oh yeah, you know, I'm getting fucking kills, but you're also dying. You're also giving the enemy fucking gold, right? Whereas you really want to just kill, you know, get the gold and not give them any. Yeah? So the safer option here is to say you come in, that's their AD carry. All of a sudden their support shows, their mid laner shows, you just back out. Maybe put a box down if they, you know, have a suspicion you're around. And you get out and you say, look, alright, there's that play isn't on. It's not quite on there. So, you know what, I'm just going to back out. Take maybe Scuttle, get some vision on Baron. Then we might look to, you know, get some fucking vision in here. Put a red... Drink it down, hit the vision cone. Oh, their red buff's up. Now we can ping our team to come for this instead. Instead of making, like, these plays, which are risky... But they need to be fucking calculated risks. And going in there and trying to one-shot their AD carry when there's two other people, you know, I mean, even just their support on top of them, it's just a risky play that you don't need to go for. Right? You're better off, like, is there a better play to be made? That's what you guys need to ask yourselves. Right? I'm guessing most of you guys who are dying, like, anywhere from 5 to fucking 10 games, 10 times a game, sorry, are not making the optimal play. Right? So before you make a play like that, and even when you come in here and you see them here, is there a better play than me going in here? Yes, it is. The better play is just to back off, regroup your team, get some vision over Baron on the objective you want to go for. That's the smarter play, right? Alright, now this is another thing that I see some Shaco players doing, guys. I'm not sure how prevalent this is in, like, fucking Diamond and stuff like that, but I know it happens. I'm not sure what elo, but it definitely happens if you're a Shaco player. Now, say that their top laner, right, is someone like a Jax or an Aurelia. I was going to do this with someone, by the way, one of the subs. But doing this, you can't actually fucking do it in a custom with someone else, like a practice tool. You have to actually, like, farm out until 20 minutes to get, like, you know, these situations where both turrets are down and shit. So that's a bit unfortunate, but anyway, yeah. So, Shaco, don't fucking target their tanks. Even if they're like an off tank. I mean, I don't know if GP, if that's the right word for like GP being an off tank when he has like Gage and Tarbies, and Aurelia who has like Tarbies and whatever else. Jax who has fucking what are Jax's build these days? You know, like they have Ravenous, which gives them health, and Tarbies for sure, Randuin's, you know, GA, shit like that. Like going on them and using your full combo and ignite on all of them is just fucking pointless in my opinion. Like, people have been asking me in chat recently, oh, what do, you know, when they have 3 tanks on the other team? Fuck the tanks. You shouldn't be worrying about what the tanks build. The tanks are going to be always going to be tanky, right? So you shouldn't be focusing on... You're an assassin. Are you going to assassinate a tank, are you? No, you're not. You want to be targeting their carries, right? And anticipating where they're going to farm. So if they have a GP, right, who's farming this wave right here, there's our creep wave. Now, if they have a GP with Tarbies, who's like fucking, who's fed as, who's probably got like 1 or 2 levels on us, and you think you can kill him here, even if you do get him fucking low, you're not going to kill him, by the way, if he has Tarbies and ult and shit. In fact, he might even kill you. Right, there are some very bad matchups for Shaco when it hits like a certain point in the game, so like Aurelia, Jax, GP, they're all really good late game. Right, and if you go on them, especially when they have Tarbies and you don't have everything fucking up, or if you're not like at least their level or even a, you know, like well ahead of them in the game, you're not gonna fucking kill them. It's just not worth, right? It's just a suboptimal play. Like there are much better plays to be made than trying to focus a tank, which takes like fucking 20-30 seconds to kill, right? So if I go in here and I box down and I use my combo and shit, maybe dodges barrels or whatever, like, it's going to take fucking ages to kill him. Now, obviously, he's not going to take that long to kill, but he's still going to take like 15-20 seconds to kill, right, if he has like 4 or 5 items. So what's the point of even going on him? There is no point. Yeah, so you're much better off wasting your fucking combo on one of their carries trying to assassinate him, because after all, that is what Shaco is best at in this season. Right? That is how Shaco should be played in this season. And that's how, you know, fucking, I'm pretty sure like every challenger Shaco at the moment is building pretty much exactly what I'm building now, give or take like a Triforce in there for maybe a Ghost Blade or some shit like that. But you guys understand what I'm saying. So going on fucking tanks and stuff, you shouldn't be worried about them at all unless you're really far ahead in the game and you know. Like, you just know on Shaco when you've played enough on him, I guess. And experience is probably the best teacher here. You know if you can fucking blow someone up, even if they're like a GP or a Jax. If you've got like a level on them or two, you're fucking like 4 items deep already at like 25-30 minutes in a game. Yes, you can probably one-shot anyone, but generally, rule of thumb, you don't want to be focusing, you know, their top laners or even their like bruiser junglers who have Tarbis, Red Smite, you know, fucking Bramble Vest, all that stuff. You don't even fucking worry about them, mate. The only thing you worry about with them is their CC and fights. So, for a Warwick example, is he going to ult you? You know, you can try and anticipate that, you know, as soon as he fucking tells himself, you know, so Warwick's like fucking here, and there's a skirmish going on here, and you see him and you quickly press fucking R. That's all you need to worry about. You shouldn't be worried about putting damage on Warwick. Your damage should be going on their carries, right? Now, most of the stuff is situational, so you need a bit of, you know, like expediency and whatever, but as a general rule of thumb, don't fucking worry about their tanks or even target them, right? Now, the last 2 tips I just gave, guys, were really, like, applicable to, so, not going on their tanks and trying not to, like, overextend for a kill. They're really applicable to, like, mid-late game, but this tip right here, so, fighting when you're sitting on gold and playing for your power spikes, that really is relevant, like, fucking at every stage of the game, early, mid, late game. Right, so early game, if we can back for a Tiamat, we go and get a Tiamat. If we can back for a Dustblade, we go and get a Dustblade as soon as we can. Even like Mobies are a fucking power spike on Shaco. More pressure on the map, more kill pressure and stuff like that. More opportunities to get kills and carry the game. All of those items are fucking just really, really important on Shaco. So when you have gold for them, you back as soon as you can. Even if you have to like, you know, postpone or delay your red buff for like a minute or two just so you can back and get a Dustblade, you fucking do it immediately. Right? These items are so important on Shaco, especially as an assassin. When we power spike, and when we have that opportunity to power spike, you have to fucking take it. And come back out of the map, and for the next, like, you know, 5-10 minutes, you can be an absolute savage and pick up kills whenever you want. Alright? So that's the last tip I'm going to give you guys in terms of cutting down your deaths. Alright? Because if we're fighting when we're sitting on gold, right, they might have like an extra item than us. They might have like a BF sword, and we might have, you know, fucking they might have 2 items in a BF. We might only have like 1.5 items, but we're sitting on 3k gold. Yeah, and that 3k gold could be put into like a Ghost Blade or a Dust Blade or some shit like that. Hopefully you guys get my drift. So as soon as you hit those fucking power spikes on Shaco and you go and do it. Right, make the fucking safe plays. It's better to be safe than the sorry, right? And that can be applied to pretty much every tip I give in terms of keeping your deaths down, right? Alright guys, so the last tip I'm going to give you guys is knowing your limits. And this is kind of like the last kind of real disparity I see between great Shaco players and just your average kind of good Shaco players, right? And this one is, as I said, like slightly more general because most Challenger players know their limits just generally better than Diamond players and, you know, fucking everyone else. But it's still something that is apparent among Shaco players, so like going back in when you're half HP, knowing exactly like your mana costs and stuff like that, how much damage you're gonna do, how much damage you can take. It's just about like, yeah, fucking knowing your limits. I mean, I can't really explain it any other way, but like using your fucking kit to its maximum kind of effect and potential, like not leaving anything fucking behind, not leaving like a stone unturned in terms of like, you know, making sure you use every ability when you can, you get in as many autos as you can, but you're trying to stay alive at the same time. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And I guess like the best teacher here is experience. So the more you play on Shaco, the more you get yourself in these situations, the more like kind of patterns you'll see and you'll be able to pick up on them. And yeah, the more like you play Shaco, you'll just like know his damage output and how much damage he can take in certain situations against certain champions and matchups and all that stuff. But it's especially like prevalent in early mid game. This is like knowing your limits, because when we don't have a Dustblade or enough AD to really like assassinate someone, we like fights are just generally going to be more protracted, right? They're gonna last longer because we're not going to blow someone up at like level 6, are we? They're not going to fucking pop. So it's a lot harder to 100 to 0 someone without damage, right? So say there's like a fight at Dragon, Rift Herald, or when, you know, 10 people are in bot lane at 10 minutes, you know, because everyone's got fucking TP nowadays. We have to be as effective as possible, right? And this will almost always mean making a play when we have low HP, so... And, you know, the previous tip, like knowing what enemy champions do. In these skirmishes, it is absolutely fucking essential that you guys know what you have to look out for. Like, say you queue in when you're invisible, like, it's very important you know that when you're invisible, you might get hit by, like, a Zyra snare, for example, who's going after someone else. You might get hit by a Shockwave, a Taric stun, a Braum Q, for example. Like, you might get hit by all of this stuff, so it's very, very important that you know what to kind of miss, right, and what you have to look out for in those fights, because otherwise you're fucked at that stage in the game. Especially when you go in like half HP. It's a risky play, but that's all about knowing your limits and kind of just understanding the champion, right? As well as you can. Alright then guys, here we go, the last part of the video, here we go. So this is knowing your limits. So Skarner comes in here, oh, he's going to pull us back in, so we put a box down. This is like mid-game, so we've already got fuck all items here. So we're going to kill the Skarner, and then Cho'Gath comes for us. I know my boxes are here warding him off, and if you look at the map, Orianna is trying to pinch him here. Sorry for the fucking notification as well, and you can't really see what I did there, but I queued over, put a box down, autoed Cho'Gath just to slow him that extra bit, went back in and tear-matted, and we got the kill. I know it was kind of hard to see, but you should be able to figure out exactly what I did there. We didn't lose any HP when that Cho'Gath went on us, so we played that very nice indeed. That's just about knowing your limits, knowing what the enemy champion does and looking to do. Right here, knowing your limits, I'm right on the fucking edge, so either there I try and get a recall in. I'm not sure if I have Repel or no, I didn't. I can try and get a recall in there in the bush by queuing and being at the same time, or I can try and kill the caster. I knew I could if I got the combo of clean, which we did, so that's just about knowing the champion and your limits at the same time. So remember how I said experience is the best teacher? That was probably experience on Shaco there, kind of carrying me through. Right here, knowing your limits again, knowing that Twitch doesn't just quite fucking do enough damage, and this is our mechanics as well. And you can hear me going off. I think I'm versing fucking Tempest on Lee Sin here, the freak, the TSM Prodigy mate, and he comes in and misses his Q as well. Perfect clip of knowing your limits. Yeah guys, that was it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I know this was fucking 25-30 minutes long, but I wanted to do it properly, thoroughly, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it and picked up some tips and shit. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the video. It took fucking a long while to make, like pretty much this whole afternoon from like 2 PM I'd say, 2:30 actually, so it's taken me 4 to 5 hours to make. So hopefully you guys, you know, kind of appreciate the hard work I've put in, mate. Nah, but legit guys, thanks for watching. Please give it a thumbs up, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Alright, peace.